Hey guys, beautiful sunny day out here, Southern California. I'm up in the desert. Anyways, all muscle coming back to you with the GTR. It's been sitting for about, I don't know, uh, 30 days, 45 days, something like that. We've been having some off and on weather with wind. We've had a lot of wind, some rain. We even got a little bit of snow. So I've kind of had it packed up and just been anxious to come back out here and work on it. The very last thing we had done, I believe, was strip out the interior and clean that all out. The thing that I got to do a couple days ago, where we actually had some decent weather, was spray these fenders. So I've got these fenders all sprayed up here, and at this point, they're basically just color sanded. I hit them with a 2000 grit wet sand, and then from there, they got a 2500. So right now, they're just basically sitting here waiting for polish. But they came out pretty decent. I have to spray outside. I don't have a booth or anything like that. So there are some slight imperfections in them. I don't know if you can see something landed on it in this area here. And it went really deep. I couldn't sand that one out. And then there's just like some little pin type imperfections that where something landed on it. I try to do my best, to judge when I can spray. Usually it's going to be sometime in the early morning or the evening where there's no wind and everything's kind of just calm. But nevertheless, no matter how much caution you take, when you spray outside, you're going to get some imperfections. But anyways, they're going to be about, they're going to be a solid B minus, B plus. They're not perfect, but neither is the rest of the car. So at the point, where you can have a spray booth and have everything dialed in perfectly. I still haven't seen a perfect paint job. So even in perfect situations, there still ends up being imperfections. I've seen paint jobs that fresh out of factory paint jobs come out with imperfections. So having a B plus on these fenders, I feel that's ample, and it's going to do the job just fine. Once I polish them out, I'm gonna put them on here. I like to polish them off car, just because when you polish something with compound or a panel with compound and then whatever other materials you're using, all the residual is going to end up all in these cracks and crevices. So to avoid that, I'm going to polish the fenders off the car, and then once they're fully polished and ready to go, I'll go ahead and put them on. But at this point, she's been sitting here just like this for the past, like I said, 30, 40 days or so, and it's just kind of been killing me because the weather's been off and on. Now don't get me wrong, I love the rain, but I cannot stand when it's windy. The rain actually. Oh, I got another thing. But anyways, let me finish off with the rain. I don't like having terrible weather and not getting anything out of it, such as wind and clouds and thunderstorms and whatnot, and then we get skipped up by the rain. It happens to us 9 times out of 10 out here for some reason in the desert. That's why I guess it's a desert, just doesn't get too much rain. But this year we actually got rain and snow, so I'm actually excited about that. I do gardening in the backyard and around my house, and that's going to help with the land and get a lot of the microbial activity going in the soil. So no complaints on that. But anyways, back to these wheels. I actually had a something that I did do. I was able to do, obviously when the weather was bad, I made a deal on a set of wheels. We were talking about these wheels aren't too bad. This one here is actually got a brand new Potenza on it. And it looks pretty decent. There's a couple gouges in this little section here. Paint, no dents or anything like that. But a lot of the wheels had really worn tires on them. So I wanted to source a set of wheels, and then luckily I came across a really nice set. It was off of a 14. I'll show them to you in a second. But this one here, another scrape here, and just basically just a slight curb rash there. Nothing really bad. I think I got one over here with a dent on it, and in order to get wheels and tires, for this car, it's actually pretty spendy. So I didn't want to buy a set of tires, because the tires were going to be about a couple thousand, maybe about 16. You can spend anywhere from 16 to 2,000. This one here has got the same type of difference here, same type of scratching. This is another rear one, but nothing too bad. The tires, the tires are all mismatched, by the way. That's how I got it. And this one here is the bad one. It's got some pretty nasty stuff here. And then if you look here, it's actually got a rise here. So this is actually hit a pothole or something, and it damaged this wheel. So in order to replace this wheel, I guess people were asking about $500-600 for one, and I just wasn't going to do that. So also replacing the tires on the car, like I said, was going to be another anywhere between 16 and 2. So that would have rendered me spending $2,600 or so, maybe 25 if I squeezed it down real good. I might have been able to get it down to like 22. So my solution was find a set of takeoffs, and just my luck, I found a set of 14s, which are going to be a style difference from the ones that are on there. It's a different style, but the 14s that I did find are absolutely beautiful. These wheels actually came on only a certain set or a certain amount of GTRs, and these ones were on the Midnight Opal color. And according to what I've read, they only had 50 of those cars with that color that came into the States, and then another 50 went elsewhere. So, but these are actually like a bronze color. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but they're actually a bronze color. And then these Dunlops here are the actual original tires that came with the vehicle, and they've still got the little nipples on them. They've only been ridden, I don't know, just maybe several miles, maybe 100 miles, I don't know. But the car was a 14. If you can see the date code on here, I don't know how well you can see that either. That's a 7 of 13, and the car was a 14. So a late manufacture or late manufacture day in 13 would have been a 14 model car. So that's how I can verify that those are definitely the original tires. I got a set of 4 here, and they're labeled. You can see right front on that one. So I'm going to put them back in their respective locations. Now the gentleman that I bought these from, I believe he was selling them for another individual, which was basically his friend. Now, he had these in his garage. They were wrapped in I think it was a shrink wrap. I think it was a black shrink wrap. He had them wrapped in a black shrink wrap and basically cut off, air and light to them, and they were inside. So I have no problem running those tires. Those tires look pretty nice. I'm going to make a decision, actually, whether I'm going to use those or hang on to those. I might actually hang on to those, but I will be putting them on the car just to see what it's going to look like with those wheels and tires on it. And then I also have a tire pressure monitor fault on this right front wheel here, and I think it's because of the damage here. It might have thrown off the TPMS sensor, or possibly the antenna for the TPMS. So on that front, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try the wheels out on the car, maybe run it down the street, see if I can get that TPMS light to clear with the fresh set. Then I'll make a decision on whether I'm going to keep them on the car, or I'll end up selling the car with either these wheels or basically just another set. I might end up buying another set that's correct to the car, but not such a rare set. I don't think that set will end up bringing me too much more money for the car if I sold it. So I'd rather actually keep the wheels and sell those separately, or hang on to them possibly in the future if I get another GTR. I'm looking for one that's just a little bit less abused than this one. This one was actually abused. They had no care for it. Obviously you can see the wheels and tires are all scraped up. The interior was smoked in. It was really heavily there's a heavy smoke smell coming from the inside with burn marks on some of the seating. Obviously, it was dinged up in the front. So somebody obviously didn't care for this vehicle, and I don't know how well it was maintained, and I don't know anything about it. If I ever bought another one of these, just knowing how expensive the parts and finding the parts, actually it's rather hard to find parts for these. The dealers charges an arm and a leg for them. But anyways, just knowing that fact, I would actually want to buy one where someone has record of maintenance and shows me that they were actual, you know, I don't know, a respectful owner of their vehicle. They you know, maintained it. They drove it properly. You know, didn't do things where, you know, it's obviously wasn't good and good for the vehicle. So leaving that out of the situation here, I may or may not buy another GTR. I might hang on to those wheels just to see if anybody would want them in the future, because like I said, they're such a rare set. Possibly somebody would want them to replace, you know, a damaged set that they have, and at that point, I would hope to bring some money for them because of the rarity. So, anyways, I'm gonna get to polishing out on that fender there, get that done, and then once the fenders are back on the car, I'll shoot another video. I just wanted to show an update. At this point, like I said, the car just sat here, and every day I'd come out here and look at it and like, man, you know, it was either windy, it was either raining. You know, this is the first day of spring. I think it's the second day of spring, and I'm ready. I'm ready for springtime. Winter was nice. We got through it, and now I'm ready to get to work. So I've got a lot of cars out here. Need some work. There's a CDI. This CDI is basically it's a diesel 211. That car. I made a video on that. I'm going to be posting that soon. And then also I have a 550 here, and then I also have another 550 that I just picked up 2 days ago. And then I'll probably make a video on that. That car basically is going to go for parts, and it's going to be to update this car. The front ends, the mirrors, the wheels and tires, and several other things are going to be going off of that car and coming onto this car to update the styling on it. The diesel has its own thing, its own problems, and I've got that, like I said, on another video set up. So you guys stay tuned and check that out if you like those diesel cars. Anyways, we'll get back with you soon, hopefully real soon. Checking out All Muscle.